Hey, 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 great evening, great evening. This is a dynamic, daring, one of a kind diva, Denise Silas, bringing it to you all the way from snowy Mississippi. So, on today, on January 27th, here in the South, we have been snowed in. I'm from the North, I'm from Wisconsin, and I'm used to snow. I was telling somebody, and they were laughing because I said, I remember growing up and having to walk. My aunt would vouch for me on this one, having to walk, and Pam too, 4.5 blocks to get to school. It was below zero weather. It was snow up. We had snow mountains and we would track our way. And I can't even imagine right now, unless I'm working out, walking 4.5 blocks anywhere. Like it must be a workout. But we would do it every single day, be all bundled up, looking like going like this, and layers of clothes, just making our way to school because I lived on the 1000 block of Villa. My school, Winslow, was on the 1400 block, and actually even a block over, you guys. So we would walk to school. So I feel like the people back in the day say, I used to truck all the way down. But literally, we did. So I laugh and look at people down here. And I remember we visited when we had moved to Maryland. We weren't really getting any snow, so we had went and visit Wisconsin. The girls and I had went home, and it was some snow outside, but it was cold outside. So my dad would not let them go outside because he said they didn't have Wisconsin coats on; they had Mississippi coats on. So it is a difference. It is a difference. It is different. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad that you are here. Please put in the chat. I don't care how many times that you have been on. You know how we do it. We always start off with putting in the chat where you're tuning in from. I am claiming host. Where you're tuning in from. We're glad to have you. Put in there what you've been doing. And if you had one word to describe how you are feeling on tonight, what would your word be? What would your word be as we are going into okay. Yes. So what would your word be? Put it in the chat. Let me open up my chat so I can at least see what y'all talking about over here. Lots of people have been eating. Welcome, Misha J. Misha J. How did you find out about that's a new name? And this girl and this diva in training be cracking me up. But we're excited to have everybody on. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into, we do have some fun new things that are happening. Hopefully you have gotten all your gazillion emails in the last week. But let's see, share here. So I'll touch on that just a little bit on tonight as well. This is a new year. Anybody excited about the newness of 2026? I feel like this is a whole, that's not supposed to be the first slide. I am very excited about what 2026 is bringing. So I hope, there's a song by, oh my gosh, I forgot her name that quickly, but she said that everything attached to me is winning. Somebody put in the chat, y'all know who I'm talking about. Jakar, something Jakar. But that's how I feel. Everybody who is attached to me is going to win. That's the season I'm setting it up. That's the energy and the vibe that I'm giving off. So as we get started on tonight, who is Empowered by DS? Empowered by DS. I am the DS of the DS, and Denise Silas. I'm with work with my two daughters, Alea and Amani. And it is our vision, you guys, to empower women to be the best version of themselves. So in that, it is all about your current season. I emphasize current season because sometimes, we can be in everything's going great. And then there's be other times where, got a little bit more challenges. And so in your given season, just do the best you can with what you got. Just do the best you can with what you got. I saw a image today that said, sister, give yourself some grace, but don't give yourself excuses. So in your season, give yourself grace, but still push and be the best version of yourself in that season. So the next thing is, what do we do? What do we do? So this is our weekly Let's Talk About It Tuesday. You guys, I'm excited. Yes, Jacqueline Carr. Jacqueline Carr. Yeah, thank you, Mary. So in this season, We have our Let's Talk About It Tuesday. It's what we introduced last year in March. So we've been going strong since last March, and we probably have maybe 3 or 4 weeks, 4 weeks at the most, where we did not have a Let's Talk About It Tuesday. But you can visit our YouTube channel, Empowered by DS, to catch all the majority of the previous conversations. And we had some good ones. So I encourage you to go to the YouTube channel. And if you go, please subscribe. We are going to do something a little bit different this year, introducing our upcoming book club. I'm so excited about that for those who are a part of our Decide Tribe. So that's going to be coming up. We will be hosting our very first Diva Dinners and Dialogue for 2026 on the 21st. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. We will continue with our quarterly empowerment workshops. So just stay tuned with us. We locked in for our April, which is going to be our retreat. Our July is going to be virtual. And then our October, we're going to be in person, which is our final lap. We have been doing a subscription box probably we're on box number 7, I believe, box number 7. So we'll be launching our next one coming out. I'm excited about all of our themes for this year. Have you guys ever been excited just because you've planned it out? Now, let's be clear. Like my prayer said today, I have a plan, but if God needs to change the plan, he would change the plan. So, but I'm excited that just what he's given me to move forward in this year. And I'm excited because Angela always encourages me with it, saying that our themes be on point. So she always, I love getting the feedback from the participants. So if you are a subscriber to our Empower Me subscription box, please put in the chat. Please put in the chat. And for our new membership level, that comes with your experience level. So you get it automatically. So if those of you who are already subscribed, you will be switched over if you get one of the Decide levels, but you will maintain, if you were already a charter member, you will maintain your charter status in the for the subscription box itself as well. And then keep us in mind for our yearly. Put on your calendar. I'm so excited. April 25th will be our Escape to Empower Me for 2026. And we're going to Birmingham. So we had a great time. So if you were a part of that, put in the chat if you enjoyed yourself and if you would encourage those to join us as well. Oh, I love it. I love it, Angela. You know how to make me feel good, girl. September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. I know it's early to be talking about that, but we do an annual event in memory of my sister. That's where the teal comes from, you guys, for our one of our signature colors. And then our way of giving back is the adopted grandparent. We have blessed over 1,000 grandparents throughout our years, averaging anywhere between 250 to plus 400 or more per year in the years that we've been doing it. And then, of course, we end the year from Vision and Victory. So our whole goal is that you would stay with us all year long as we continue to build and grow and empower you to be the best version. So just real quickly, I am so excited. I'm so excited that I just believe God has positioned us for a time such as this. And we have decided to just go to the next level. And in 2026, our focus last year was we need to grow. We need to, more numbers. And that's why we had chose the venue that we did. But in that process, we realized that was taking us away from really what we believe God was calling us to be. And that's really to help women and not just help masses of people and entertain them. So with that in mind, we have just kind of refocused, realigned ourselves, which hence is our theme this year: align, become, and conquer. And we're excited that the butterfly is going to be a significant part of who we are this year. And so we have the 4 levels of our Decide Tribe. And you can play at any part. It really all depends on what your needs are currently. You can always change at any time as well. If you want to know more about that, I believe if you text back, if you've gotten a text from the 662 number, the same number that you may have text talk to, if you text the word tribe to that, it will give you information regarding our different levels. But I'll tell you this, with this, one of the things, listening to ladies say they about got tired of having to register every time we had something. So this gives them the opportunity to, once you sign up for the experience level, that you are able to go to all of our events. It's all included in your level. And then we elevate. If you think coaching, having the opportunity to be coached and collectively grow with other women, that's how we elevate and then go on to elite level. The Decide Collective, regardless of where you live, this is a good place for you. Is more of a you building a virtual community, but we're going to do breakouts, we're going to do networking, we're going to have a book club, like, and my most favorite part about it, every quarter you get a signature piece, whether it's a t-shirt, a mug, a coffee, a keychain or something that just signifies that you are part of the Decide tribe. So, and this only would be items that are available to the tribe. So I'm excited about that, and I hope that you are as well. So I have sent out our complete list. We are set for 2026, our next coming event, which is on the 21st. Like, it's Diva in training. Why are you writing all over my screen? How are you writing all over my screen? What are you doing? So put your cursors down. I don't know how it's happening. I don't know what's happening, but it's writing all over my screen. That is hilarious. But the 21st, our Diva Dinner and Dialogue is
Girl,
one
I
of my
don't know what I
favorites.
did.
Me neither. But I was like, it's getting more lines. But you want to come out if you would love to be in a space of other like-minded women for a fun social evening and be able to just connect on conversations that matter most. This is where you want to be. It is a great place to be. So we will release registration on Saturday after we finish our pre-launch of our the Sidetrack community. So you have seen some amazing. If you missed the last two conversations with Sam and Keisha or any of them, please check out our YouTube channel. All the conversations are up. They are great. So this month, the focus was all about achieving goals, like in spite of other things. So it's not just, oh, they just had an easy year. These are women who fought to get the goals that they met and how they did it. So we will finalize our month with Miss Angela on today. So I'm excited about that. I still, if you are looking to be coached and don't necessarily want to go through, be a part of the Decide Tribe levels, then you can still check it out. Go to our Power by DS website and you can learn more about the Unstoppable. This is a lot of times at the beginning of the year, people are trying to figure out what they're next and need a little bit of assistance. And having someone to dig deep in that is a role I can play for you to help you get going before we lose too much time in this month. You can visit our website. We are cleaning it up a little bit, but there's still some great information on there to help you know who we are as well. One of the things that I will be doing more of this year is coaching, really helping women to get from where they currently are to where they really want to be. And as I always say, hoping that's where God has called them to be. So we're going to be taking women to the next level as well. And then please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Please share when you see some of our promotions or information we share. Please share with your network as well to help us get out. If you are not a part of the Facebook community, so we'll have a Decide Tribe. We'll maintain that, our basic Facebook community, even once we create our private community as well. So, and that's what just gives people an opportunity to kind of share what they're doing also. And as I mentioned before, this year, our theme is about align, become, and conquer. You know, once we have aligned ourselves, and you may have to realign. You may have been in season where you just may have gotten off track because you're being more reactive. Alignment is calling you to be proactive. And then we want to becoming all that God has called us to be, and then have the courage to be that person. So stay tuned, working on some devotional stuff. Like, I'm very excited about using this as a way to really help us move as women collectively, individually, in the places that we want to go as well. So today, one of my friends, we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're going to do the things a little bit differently. So if you've been on, we have a guest speaker and they just kind of went at it. Today, we're going to have a conversation. The beautiful thing about it is that I have been blessed to actually watch Angela grow when she first came to the chamber, and I think it's almost like 3 years ago, and just was trying to figure it out, and just to see her as she has flourished, her confidence have built, and the things that she have accomplished. So before we get started, Angela, did you send me a bio and I missed it?
I didn't send you a bio. You didn't tell me to send you a bio.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. So if you shoot it
You
to
told me
me,
to send you
but
photos.
I pulled out some pictures. And so first, what I want you to do, I'm gonna bring up some pictures and I want you to talk to the pictures.
Okay.
And then and
Talk to the
tell
pictures.
yes, you're gonna
Okay.
talk, well, you want to speak to it, and I'll ask you some questions related to the pictures.
Okay.
So okay. So this picture is the first. I want you to talk about creating your 2025 and anything off of there that you want to highlight, and then now what your 2026 means to you.
And I hate I didn't have a picture of the 2024 one because that one was big um to send you, but I couldn't find it in my phone. Um, but it's doing the vision boards has allowed me to be able to put my goals actually on paper, so to speak, in not like written out form, if that makes sense. Where it's something that I keep in my office. I literally have these in my office. They're on my they sit up on my desk on the top. And so they remind me, they're daily reminders that of what I'm shooting for the year. You know, with last year, it really was about just keeping on and prioritizing myself more, which that's just still always a little bit of a struggle. Um, and this year is very much about just trusting the process and embracing that uncertainty of it all. You know, trust the wait is exactly what it says. Trust the wait, embrace the uncertainty, and enjoy the beauty of becoming. Um, and that's kind of been what the last 3.5, almost 4 years, actually. June will be 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just been about trusting that process and embracing the uncertainty.
And I'm going through the pictures, and I'm going to ask her specific questions. So you guys be patient with it. Um, in 2024, that's when we had our very first vision board party.
Yeah.
Um, and then and I'm amazed at the number of women who have never did a vision board. So whether it's vision board or a goal poster, there is very significance in when you put it on paper and can see it, because sometimes you had to visualize it to create it. So if you
Yeah.
have not, I would encourage you to complete one. If you need assistance, let's talk about it, because I would love to see. That's the whole thing about our vision to victory. Like, if you never cast a vision, how do you know if you have created some victory? Like, what is your
Hmm.
measurements to it? So and her 2024 was like a grind. She was grinding and grinding. And yes, but the number of things that were on there that, and I probably can find one, that came, how it evolved, tells a story too, that you can tell the story with it as well. So this
Yeah,
next picture, let's see.
the 2024 one, it was really crazy because I had things on there that I didn't know how they played out or what pieces they played out. I just knew they were supposed to be on there. Like Loretta, I knew she was supposed to be a part of it. I just didn't know what role she played. And then one of my biggest things for that year was to have the office space. And that that was like my big goal for the year. And that was accomplished within the first quarter of the year. And I was sitting here going, wait, what happened? So that's where those things, when you put them out there, be careful what you ask God for because He's gonna show out sometimes.
Right, right. And putting it out there creates the space for it to happen as well. Yeah. So talk about these photos with the award. So when I tell you she broke, she was just killing it in the county, like killing it in the county. But and we'll talk about this in a minute. It didn't surprise us. It's like it surprised her, but it didn't surprise anybody when they heard her name called. So what does these awards, because you see she's holding multiple awards in her hand. It's not like one. She has multiple awards in her hand. So talk about what this symbolizes to you, and then why do you think you were so surprised?
I think I was, so it means to me that the hard work, the everything that I've been doing over the last couple of years, um, that people noticed. Not that I was doing that for that reason, but that's visible evidence that, hey, like people have noticed that I've been out here doing this. Um, but it wasn't about that. I haven't been doing all of everything that I've done over the last few years to get noticed or to get awards or to do any of that. Um, I've, I've been out in the community, one, to grow my business, but I love to serve. Like that is, my heart is a servant heart. So to be able to serve in my community and grow my business at the same time, that's a win-win for me. So, you know, that's just, that's fantastic. So with that, it surprised me because I've told you this before, because the people that I'm around are doing the same things. And so when I look around, like everybody I see that I'm running with is doing the same thing. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything different than anybody else is doing, but it's because of who I surround myself with.
Mhm.
And that's where it's the difference there. And, when I was up for some of those awards, I mean, one of those you and I were both nominated for. And I was no more deserving than you were. Like, that is one of those things that I didn't feel that I was more worthy than anybody else that was nominated. So that's why it surprises me when I am. Um, that, and it just means so much when things like that come out because it is shocking for me because I've never been in that position of I've always worked for someone else and never been in that front role, so to speak.
Gotcha. So tell us about all of this.
So this is different things within the Decide tribe, from Diva Dinner and Dialogue, one of the Friday nights there, to some of the Diva events that we've had. Our escape day there, and that is actually a girl that I went to high school with, that's your cousin, that I
It's my
had no
cousin.
idea that, I mean, she and
Crazy.
I have known each other since we were little and our entire lives, and never knew that there was that connection there. So that was a great day, for us to even reconnect there. And then several of these, you see Kelly with me, who is my assistant, that I've been able to bring into the tribe and expose her to all things that are the tribe, and expand her circle a little bit more as well. And then, of course, me and you and our red looking fabulous down there from last year's Galentine, I believe.
Yep.
And then, of course, our queen, Miss Andrea. But these were just some of my favorite pictures because it's the people who are, from old reconnections from high school and childhood being reconnected through the tribe. to new connections with Andrea and all of the other ladies and deepening that work connection there and forming that bond even stronger with our with work.
Gotcha. So why was it important for you to, because we have concluded and that between Diva Dinner and Dialogue, our retreat empowerment workshops, you may have missed one event. Why has it been important for you to engage?
Um, for me, it is the one thing that I do for myself. It's the one way that I invest back into me, that it's not work related, that it is truly building up me. And, with everything that all the things that you've done through the boxes and through everything, it's hit the nail on the head with exactly wherever I'm at in the season that we've walked through. And it's helped guide the ship, so to speak, of helping keep me focused and achieving the things that I've wanted to achieve over the last year or two.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna back up. I didn't want to have to keep going in and out of the share, but this is what I want to as before we really get into. I want to share this. Um, Angela has a powerful story of resilience and intentionality. She didn't set out to become an entrepreneur. Life shifted, a door closed, and she found herself having to build something of her own. And instead of shrinking, she showed up. She showed up for training, she showed up for community, and she showed up for growth, even when it was uncomfortable. What I love most about her journey is that she didn't just hope to win, she created a place for herself to win. She made development a priority. She committed to environments that sharpen her, and she has the awards and impact to show for it. So, tonight we're going to talk about what it really looks like to be intentional with your time, your growth, and the spaces you choose to sit in, especially when you didn't choose the season you're in. So, let's get started, Angela. Let's get started. Tell, um, so being an entrepreneur with insurance was not your initial plan. So tell us a little bit about that.
So rewind back to well, let's just go back to 2017 when I got into the Medicare game, and into all of this craziness. My husband got diagnosed with cancer back in 2015. He began his Medicare journey in 2017. Fast forward a little bit, I had been let go from the job that I was working at a church, started managing a Medicare supplement insurance agency for a local agency here. Um, got licensed in 21. And then that gentleman sold his agency in December of 21. The new agency let me go in May of 22, which was very unexpected. And I was sitting here going, wait, what happened? And it was, oh, well, you're just going to go out and be independent now. And I was like, hmm, what? And because I was fully prepared to manage this agency and do all the things because that was the trajectory that I had. And at first, it got completely shifted because when I originally got licensed, it was to be a better office manager and be more well-rounded in that position, not go out and have my own agency. That was never my plan.
Mm.
But my plan, God's plans, two different things.
So Vera asks, how has the journey impacted your confidence?
Um, I would say it's helped it. It's definitely been a journey because I am not necessarily one that wants to be out in the front. I would much rather to lead from the back. Um, like I am going to be the one that's behind the scenes. Like I am not the forefront. So having to shift into that to be more of the forefront, that is one thing that I will say, that being part of Denise's tribe, that it has even helped with that because it's helped me find my own voice and find more of myself, so to speak, and help me guide that. Where I've always more been in a space of I'm just going to be back here doing what needs to be done and not building into my own improvement.
So becoming an entrepreneur kind of forced you to take on more of the self improvements and self
Oh
training.
yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't your natural self prior or priority prior.
Not not really. It was not really that much self improvement. It was, the normal stuff, but not as much as I have, because now it's more about expounding on that. That it's not just like, oh, how can I be better? Like, I only not have to be better for myself. I have to be better for who I'm serving. So that means um, increasing my knowledge as far as things in my industry. So it's ever growing, ever changing. So it's not just about my own little bubble anymore.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So let's get into some questions here. From setback to setup. As you just said, your plan was not to become an entrepreneur. You were kind of forced into it, right? So, what was the mind shift you had to make to move from uncertainty to ownership of your future?
That if it was gonna happen, it was gonna be up to me. That there wasn't anybody else that was gonna do it. That it was up to me to pull myself up, to pick up the pieces and keep on moving, to take that next step, to that I didn't have, you know, a job to go back to. There wasn't something waiting for me, that I had the skills, I had the opportunity. And so if it was going to happen, it was going to be up to me.
When you because we your our story may not be we had to go insurance, but sometimes there's things that happen that shift us, right? That we don't expect. So we can easily, they say you can fight, what is it? Fight, um, flee, or freeze, right? You can fight, flee,
Mhm.
or freeze. So you decided to fight. I mean to to fight, not flight, but fight. Get out. And often, ladies, when you think about that, I want everybody to just kind of think of a time where you had to make that choice, because I do believe this is when you have done it before, you can do it again. Like, I just believe that. When you've done it before, you can do it again. So sometimes we're in a situation where we want to flee or freeze, then reflect on when you have had to fight. So when was a time, because I would imagine, when you have shared with me in the past about your time when um, Levi was diagnosed and getting through that, I just know from when, my sister and my mom, there's times where you had to fight. Like, you got to have a mindset to fight, because you can easily kind of get depressed and all that kind of stuff. So did you find yourself ever having to um, pull your strength from something you've done before, or that season of your life is what made you push? Would you say that you had any connection with, just kind of, and if not that, was there any other um, time that helped you to get through based on something that you knew you had done in the past?
I will definitely say that a lot of it did come from, in which I will say that I kind of went through all of those phases, because in the first of it, when I was first let go, I froze. Like, I was having panic attacks for a month.
Mhm.
Like, it was not pretty. But so I froze for a little bit, and I then I fled, because Levi and I, which we went on vacation, we took a 10-day road trip because I had to not be here. Because I was like, I can't be still. I have to not, I have to not be in one place. So I kind of froze and then I fled. But and during all of that, I was like, okay, I have to pick myself back up. This is not the worst thing that has ever happened. Things is gonna keep on going. Because at that point in time, Levi was actually still on disability. So I was the only income at that point other than his disability. So it was like, okay, you got to pick yourself up and keep on going. But it definitely, through his cancer stuff, it that to be able to walk through that, because we literally walked through the fires. Like it, he was not supposed to make it through 2016 if it had been up to the doctors. And we, they sent us home, said, sorry, we just have to watch it and see what happens. And so we came home and started making final plans. And then we got to watch the good Lord show out, and he's been no
Mm.
evidence of recurrent disease since January of 2017.
Wow.
Um, so that is definitely one of those things, but it's always been that no matter what, you always can come back better if you learn from it and you grow from it. You can always come back stronger, because that's the one thing that I am a firm believer, that our good Lord will make beauty from ashes if you allow him. And Levi is not my first marriage; he's my second, and I say that he is my redemption marriage, because he was that being redeemed and coming into that, and then him being healed from cancer, and then this with the insurance. That's why you can see my everybody always thinks these are wings, which they are, but they're not angel wings. Um, my logo is actually based off of a phoenix for a reason, because that is symbolically exactly what that represents, is something powerful and resilient being born out of ash and coming back from that fire, something being born out of fire. And it just, you come back stronger and more resilient.
They say if you're going to go through something, learn from it. Like
Hmm.
learn and take something from it. Take something from it so that you can grow through it, right? Not just
Yep.
go through it, but grow through it as
Grow
well.
through it. Exactly.
Um, so what does so when you think about having to show up, having to figure it out, what did that look like for you as far as um, literally figuring out? So because you came into the chamber, you didn't know what was going on. Like, what would you say were some of the things that you did to figure it out? Like literally having to figure out because you came, you had made a decision that I'm not going down. Like, right? And sometimes it's just first you gotta make that decision, right? First make the
Hmm.
decision that I ain't going down. Like I ain't going down without a fight. Like,
Yep.
and how many times that we just don't make that first choice. So once you made the first choice, that they done threw me out here now. It's a sink or swim. I'm gonna swim. I'm not sinking because that's a decision. So when you got started getting involved, because you didn't do it to set yourself up, but you set yourself up to win. So when you were looking at I'm in here now, like that first year, I'm in here now, this is what it is. What did you do to put yourself in position to start to grow and move forward towards more success um, than to not be successful? I guess it would be the like. How did you set that up?
I just started showing up stuff. Like literally, I knew that was the one thing, because when I started, nobody knew who I was or what I did, because I'd sat in the office working for somebody else for years. So I literally just started showing up to everything the chamber had, all of the ribbon cuttings, all of that. And starting investing in myself. That's probably been the most important thing that I've done, not only through the side tribe and through all things that you offer, but into actual trainings. So I do workshops, I go to events, I have different conferences that I go to. But I'm constantly trying to invest into myself to grow my knowledge and my circle. It's that, yeah, I'd love to tell you that it's not, or I should say, Coach Burt says it's not what you know, but who you know.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that has been what how I've created that place, is finding those people who I may not know how, but I know who does, and creating those relationships and getting to those tables and in those rooms. That's probably the most important. Get in the room.
In the room. Um, ooh, So, Sunitra said entrepreneurship isn't about having the perfect plan. It's about having the courage to start, the discipline to adapt, and the resilience to finish. Cheers to you. You didn't just dream it, you built it. Yay. And Diva in training, i.e., Kristen, Your faith through the fear has been your strength. The Lord's provision in your life through this is a beautiful testimony. And then Mary said, congratulations, Angela. You make it look so easy. Did you have any other motivating sister circles prior to the Decide Tribe? And how has the Decide Tribe helped mold your life and yourself into the person you are today?
That would be a no, because as Denise says, she's never known any of those messy women. Um, I've known those women, a lot of those women. And I've been one of those women that have never had a whole lot of female friends. So definitely did not have a sister circle prior to the Decide Tribe, because I've never had a lot of those good relationships like that, that where it's a circle where we're not jealous of each other. We encourage each other. We build each other up. It's not, ooh, who can outdo the other? We're all celebrating each other, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So I would love to say that I have, but no. Um, and how has the Decide Tribe helped mold my life? It's given me that, where I've never had that relationship with women before. The chamber has done that as well. With the ladies there, that I've created some of my favorite relationships with ladies from the chamber, ladies from the Decide Tribe. Those have become family. And it's those relationships that I've never really knew I longed for, but I longed for. Because now I have female friends that never really, I've had one or two, but none like now. Exactly. She knew them. She just didn't deal with them.
And Pam, no. Pam and I go way back. We go way back. Yes, yeah, because yes, I will walk away. I will walk away. So
That's me now.
what were you about to say?
I said, that's me now. Like, I don't do messy. Like, it's not, nope.
We don't have the capacity. We don't have the capacity for it. We sure don't. Okay, so in this season, so taking it, you your first year you were grinding hard. Your second year you're like, okay, I need to find myself some balance. Now we're in this third year of 2026. So as you continue, because when you have gone hard, achieved awards, you get yourself to a place where kind of a standard for yourself, right? Um, how do you continue to move forward, to continue to grow? Um, and then let's just start there. How do you move forward to continue to grow so that you are still being progressing in your path?
Still setting more goals. It's I have set certain standards, so it's you don't back down, you just keep moving forward. I've invested into a new coaching program that's helping me expand my business. I've invested into the coaching program with you. Um, so it's investing back into myself and back into my business is how I keep moving forward. Just figuring out, because there's a lot of changes within the industry. So figuring out how, okay, you're not just this one thing. You are that whole package of offering for people, that it's not just a one-stop shop, that because when you don't fully within the insurance, if we're not fully protecting people with their health insurance, we're leaving a whole lot of holes and a lot of things there. So learning how, that's one of the things within the new coaching program that I'm learning of. So just learning new techniques, new um, products, even things that I didn't know were even available. So just expanding my knowledge. Yeah,
And
and
I
all that.
always talk about we only know what we know, right? When we're in our feelings, you're trying to figure it out. All you're doing is stirring up what you know, right? You only know what you know. And getting into a space of getting to the point where, I don't know what I don't know. I know what I don't know so that I can grow. So often I always say people spend more money on their hair, nails, and feet than their face and then their personal growth. So even understanding that we need to grow, and if you're in a season of being stuck, or maybe it's getting into a space of being coached. So you can do training and you can do coaching. So what made you decide that it's more than me just going to get trained, but being able to get someone that's going to help me move to another level? Because you get training and then move to another level. So what made you add the coaching piece of it to your growth plan?
Because everybody needs a coach in life. We all need coaches. Every aspect of life, whether it's, in the gym and life and, wherever. Um, so to move from training to coaching, to have that as an example, I was in a training today that we were doing role play where it was, hey, this is how you say it. And going back and forth with the different people in the training. So you're actually getting that hands-on coaching of that specific tweaking different things. So it's a little bit different than just training.
Mhm.
Because you get that, you can sometimes even that personalized aspect of this is where you're trying to go. So let's tweak just this one little piece here, and can have more of that instead of it just being a broad training.
If you had to tell someone who maybe in a situation where their life has been shifted, right? Because whether it doesn't matter what it is, right? So if their life has been shifted, what would you tell them? What would you recommend to them to be able to get, I guess, more control over their emotions, right? Maybe we could control over their path. What would you tell them?
The sun is always going to come up tomorrow. I know that's kind of cliche, but it really is. The world, whatever happens, it's not, you're still alive. You're still able to get up and keep on going. Until you're taking your last breath, it's not over. You just got to keep on fighting. And as long as you keep fighting, then it's not the end. It's when you stop trying that it's the end, but you got to keep on trying. You got to keep on picking yourself back up. Even if some days you got to crawl, you just got to keep going, because there were many, many days that it was a crawl. Like I was still on my knees, showing up before chamber events, having panic attacks in my car, and like, okay, it's going to be okay. You can do this. And it was a lot of self-talk of trying to just self-motivate, of put that smile on that face and go out there and do it. Um, so just just keep on, just keep on going. Yep. Even the worst days still only have 24 hours,
Right.
because it is still going to come out. The sun is still going to rise the next day. And until the good Lord comes back for us, it is still going to keep on going. And we just got to keep on living the way that we want to honor Him.
So do you have any through the process of when you're trying to get things aligned, did you have journals? Did you have podcasts? Did you how was your spiritual life? Like how did you put other things in place that maybe women can grab and say, okay, I didn't think about that, or that can be something that I can use to so get myself through.
I would say at that point, it was honestly a lot of Coach Burt's trainings, and I was listening to a lot of his books at that point in time. And I had gotten plugged into some of those trainings, and with Coach Michael Burt and Grant Cardone. And I'd been introduced to some of those circles. And one of my favorite people that was probably, she was one of my first coaches, Sandra Gephardt and her 5x5 training. And that was one of those things that she was probably the first one that led me into that. Hey, own yourself. Like, it's okay to be too much, that you don't have to apologize for being too much. Like, it's okay that you are. Own that and make it part of you.
Mhm.
And so, whatever you're struggling with, just lean into it. Find somebody that you connect with. Find one thing. And that was one of the things that I did. I connected on that kind of stuff with Sandra. And then I was listening to Coach Birch stuff, and a lot of his is you just got to show up. You got to keep on going. You've got to, because, and one of the things that Grant Cardone said is the best known is the best. So you got to make yourself known. So that was what I was doing. So that is during all of that struggle, is I was just holding on to some of those teachings, as was leaning into that big time of just trying to find, because I was having a lot of self-doubt. So it was trying to own that, okay, I'm too much, but it's okay.
And the one of the things I hear that you're saying is that if I just keep showing up, something's bound to happen. Like, and it's having that right, that whole thought. If I just keep showing up, something's bound to happen. Um, and trusting the process in that, um, and just being able to keep moving, because if you keep moving, you at least get somewhere, right? If you don't move, you're not going to get anywhere. So, your question is, did you ever ask why me?
Every single day, multiple times a day, still do. Um, that is not something that I still like. I still sometimes sit back, even with the awards and things. I'm like, what? Why me? What did I do? But as far as the why me of why did this happen to me, a little bit, especially when I got let go. There was a lot of, because there was a little bit of that whole messy girl thing too, with some of those messy women that, but so there was a lot of that, like, what did I do? Like, I was just working, like I was just trying to do my job. Like, what happened here? But I realized at that point in time it wasn't about me, and which that took a little bit to sit back and realize, but I knew that it wasn't about me, of what happened in that particular situation. It wasn't about me. It was about someone else trying to have their way, and I was just kind of the consequence. My situation is the consequences of. But you know, now I sit and I'm going, it's going to happen. It could happen to anybody. It's kind of like cancer. Um, it can happen to any of us.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a matter of how we deal with it in the outcome, because it can happen to any of us at any time. But how do we react to it in that situation?
Mhm. Yeah, where we put our energy, right? Where are we going to put our energy? You can stay in that, why is it me? Why this happened to me? And then you losing time. You
Hmm.
don't get to, you don't grow any, go any further or grow any further, being stuck there. So with this, one of the things I would encourage, if any of us are in scenarios where, and I was having this conversation with someone just before the call tonight, and we were talking about, you know, sometimes we'll visualize what our life is going to look like, right? We have this whole plan. Like you said, you were going to help build this
Oh,
office for them. You were building those skills to be the best office managers ever. And God had a different plan, right? And sometimes we got to ask ourselves, well, did he take me up out of that scenario because he knew I wouldn't leave on my own? right? And then, when we think about what he has, if we can do that good for somebody else, why can't we do that good for ourselves? Like, that thought was never your thought, right? That thought was never your thought. So I would encourage all of us to think about, in me being my best version of myself, am I willing, you know, willing to be the best version of myself? Like, am I even willing to be that person? And then what does that look like for me? So, and sometimes life shifts us to make us look at that differently. Like, whether it's like the job scenario, whether it's health, whether it's just, you know, job closes and, something happens. It could be anything. But even at that time, ask, what does it look like for me to be the best version of myself now? What do I need to do? How many of us are willing to invest in ourselves? How many of us are willing to do something different to get a different outcome? How many of us are willing to just say, hey, Lord, I'm here. Whatever you say, I'm willing. We say that, but until it's time for us to show up, we want to question that. So I applaud you. I have watched you just grow. And I say all the time, like, you set yourself, because when you set yourself up to win, this is what I want to say too. Set yourself up to win, expect to win, right? And receive what comes, So it's, put yourself like, I want to believe it. I want to expect it. Now I know, we have some human factors in it. We still gonna be down, all that kind of stuff. But if I'm gonna pray on it and then put myself in action for it, we gotta have some level of expectation, right? It's just to keep us going, just to keep us going through the process. So I just encourage, y'all know me, I'm flipping, switching, and pushing buttons. Like, I'm flipping switches and pushing buttons. And let me ask you this: in that, I say that comment all the time, right? Flipping switches and pushing buttons. So, what has that? Because between you and Keisha, yeah, she's doing it. So, and I should have asked her the same question. But when I say that and you amen it, what does it mean for you, or why do you amen it? I guess is the question.
Because you have encouraged me. You've helped push me outside of my comfort zone. You really have, you're not afraid to ask those tough questions. And you do, and you make me think about things in ways that especially with the book, our books that are in our the journals that are in the subscription boxes. Those help me lay out my quarter, and with the way the questions are asked through it, that it helps guide me. And so you're pushing those buttons and you're flipping the switches. You're like my little local Coach Burt. Because you help all of us, that you ask those tough questions, and you ask, if one of the favorite things that you've ever asked me, if the world was perfect and it was up to me, what would it look like? Or what would X look like? And that is where I look at everything. Like, if, with hiring a new admin, if that position, if the person was in that was perfect for me, like, what would it look like? So I frame that question is something that I use to frame a lot of things now, because like that gives me that guiding point. And it's like, well, if everything was perfect, this is what it would look like. And without knowing that, you really know much of any, like it's that good question that really helps answer that, but you really are. So that's what you've done for me. And when I first started out, back in 22, and I had a book, Kim gave me just a journal for my birthday that year. And I had a list in it of women that I had met through the chambers in the community, that I wanted as mentors. And I don't know that I've ever told you this. I had three women on that list. It was you, Tina Tatum, and Kim Daly.
Wow.
And
Y'all got to know who Tina Tatum is and Kim Daly is. Like, that is a wow, wow, wow. I'm honored. I am truly honored.
so to know that now you three ladies that I call my friends, and y'all all three are have been mentors to me through this. Um, so that is why you are one of those people in my life that pushes those buttons and flips my switches because you pushed me uh to those next levels.
Yeah, and that's a good question to ask yourself, you guys. Put in to yourself, who would be the three people that you would love to mentor you to the next level, or that you want to be in their space, get to know with, maybe have coffee with, and ask them a few questions. That is a an amazing thing to, and I don't care how old you are, wherever space you looking to grow. And then the question when she's talking about, if the world was perfect, it's up to me, what would it look like? The thing I love about that question, it forces you to use your imagination. And sometimes we won't really imagine because we're so busy looking at all the barriers. We're looking at those things. So that is my, and then when I want to tell you something, and I'm not sure how you're going to respond, I'll say that the world was perfect. So to me, this is what you would do. And some people say I can do that. Some people are like, oh, I can't do that as well. So um Kristen says Denise is like that Coach Burke phrase. She gives a look that says, stop talking about it and start being about it. That part. Yes. Yes. I want to be
What
the
you waiting
person in
for?
your life that gets you to move. So who is the person in your life? My whole point for her to just talk about it, because I want you to ask yourself, if it's not the Decide Tribe, if it's not me, who is the person? Because remember, one is too small of a number to achieve significance. We all need a coach in our life, and you need someone to help move you to your next level. So if you don't have that, if you don't have a circle of environment, I think we get into too many spaces and just stay in those spaces, and that they're not serving us. And one of my biggest things for 2026 is all the spaces I'm in, I want to build community, connection. Like, I'm shifting a lot of stuff in my life just because I one don't know how much time I have, right? I'm now trying to take advantage of all the time that I have so that I can be the best version of myself for me and for the women that I serve. Like, that is a major piece of where I am in my life currently. So I challenge everyone. To ask yourself that question, like, who is in my life that is pushing me to be the best version? Who's in my life that is encouraging me, that's cheering me on? Like, if you don't have no cheer section, if you can't write down who your cheer section is, you go find your cheer section for sure. Because I want to cheer you on. Like, I got real pom poms for it. Like, I am that girl. Like, I am trying to catch you doing something good, and I want to celebrate you, because that will help uplift us, help us build our confidence. So, who is it in your life? So, does anybody else have any other questions? I know I want you to talk about the pancake for, what is his name?
Roger.
I want to say Rick. I was like, that's not right. I knew Rick wasn't right, but I'll bring up
Roger.
your flyer for that as well. But but does anybody have any other questions or comments for Angela? Anybody? Anybody? I hope this was valuable for you. It's just about taking our scenario, you guys, when life throws us what lemons, we're going to make the best tasting, high quality lemonade we can make, y'all. It's going to be a good one. You gave me lemonade, but I was ready for it. Like, I'm ready for it. I need y'all to be fighters. We're going to fight in
Mhm.
2026. We're going to fight for what we want and fight to make a difference as well. So let me bring up, I do want to have you talk to, I think this is the next slide. We're going to hope this is the next slide. I thought I put it in order. Let's see. No, where is it? Okay. Okay. So talk about it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it and pull it up. I know I got it over here somewhere.
Okay.
Not
Well,
sure.
that's all the ways that you can connect with me. Uh,
Yes, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that.
you want me to talk about pancakes for Roger?
Yes.
Okay, pancakes for Roger. is a nonprofit that was started by Susan Combs in memory of her father, Major General Roger E. Combs. He was a three-service veteran, two-star general that passed away from Agent Orange-related throat cancer. In his final days, all he wanted one morning for breakfast was pancakes. But at that time, he had a feeding tube from his battle, and that wasn't something that was possible. So now, in memory of Major General, in the month of February, which is his birthday month, the nonprofit Pancakes for Roger, for every picture that is posted on social media with the hashtag Pancakes for Roger, there's a book, Pancakes for Roger. If I was at my office, I would have the copy of that book handy. There's a book, there's all kinds of different things, but the main thing is posting pictures and using that hashtag Pancakes for Roger. I got involved with the nonprofit last year, and we held a breakfast at Stacks. Stacks is actually coming along with us again this year and having a breakfast at every single one of their locations. Every Saturday is a different location. Don't have the exact dates of each location yet, but all three locations in Memphis and then the one in Southaven will have a Pancakes for Roger Day every Saturday. So with that, our breakfast here in Southaven is on Friday, February 13th. And I am excited to announce that Susan Combs, the founder, is actually coming and gonna be here for the breakfast. So super excited about that. We are having it at Northwest. They are our location sponsor. You can scan that QR code, make a donation directly for the Pancakes for Roger. It uh, Part of the funds go to the Veterans Law Clinic at Mizzou School of Law. But they also, in this past fall in 25, the nonprofit started doing emergency grants for veterans all across the U.S. And I want to say they've given over $50,000 in grants, thanks to all of the funds that have been donated through the nonprofit. Their goal, I think, this year is 1,500 pictures submissions. Last year, the goal was 1,000. We were over 1,200 submissions last year from all across the U.S. Every state was accounted for, plus a few other countries. Angela Kitty Insurance is actually the sponsor of Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas this year. So we're the state sponsors for those three states. Between last year with Mississippi and Tennessee, we had a tenth of the submissions total. So we had over 120 submissions in Mississippi and Tennessee. So we are looking to show that number out this year and hope to feed 100 people on Friday the 13th. So come out, have breakfast with us from 8 to 10. Breakfast is free. Donations are accepted. But come eat eat pancakes, take pictures. Even if you're at your own home, take pictures of pancakes and post it on your social media during the month of February. Use the hashtag Pancakes for Roger, and a donation is made every time that hashtag is used.
Okay, so I was about to say that. Okay, so we can eat pancakes at our house. So everybody on February 13th, we're going to end up pushing it out and reminding you on February 13th that you're going to eat pancakes and do a picture of it and do hashtag. I mean, that's a little way that we can make a difference. Something simple
Yep.
as go and just eat some pancakes, take a picture, y'all,
And
and
it
be able
runs
to make
the
an impact.
and it runs the whole month of February. So anytime during the month of February that if you're eating pancakes, take a picture, post it, hashtag Pancakes for Roger.
Awesome, awesome. And then they'll be able to give to, and we'll have that information in our tribe and everything, and be able to share, make sure that we get it out. Because one of the things that is cost you nothing is to share.
Yeah.
That costs you nothing is to share. So I'm excited about that. And this is another thing, you guys. The one thing that I also know about Angela, when she does something, she don't try to half do it. She goes then some. So I'll ask you, in your life, are you showing up to where it matters? One, so she decided, she found something that she can tap into and be able to support. And then when you go, do you go hard? Like, or you just do it a little bit? Do you think it doesn't matter? I'm sure once again she was doing something, not realize it's going to be a big old deal, but then was able to really make an impact. And now the whole founder is coming to Mississippi. Like, it's coming to Mississippi because the fact that she was willing to stretch herself. So we don't know how many people are impacted by our willingness to stretch ourselves, you guys. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. And you're boiling over. What do you want to say? I can tell you got something you want to say.
Oh no, I'm just
Oh,
excited about the breakfast. It's all coming together. Like it's a big community event. We've got community sponsors that are coming in with from the pancakes, the caterers doing those, the coffee, everything. It's just all coming together. I'm just excited about it. I'm excited about bringing together, hopefully 100 people. So y'all come out and eat breakfast with us. It's going to be exciting.
and don't think you're too small to make an impact. I mean, small business owner making a big impact. So I'm excited for you, my friend. Pam, were you clapping or did you have your hand up? I'm looking at your hand somewhere. Oh, in the chat. Were you
No,
just
you said who knows a veteran. So I was
Oh,
just
okay.
raising
Let's
my
raise your hand so you know. Okay, so let's and do it in honor. Eat that pancakes and even in honor of the veteran that you know. And I know Sinitra, if she I don't know if she's still on here, but I know she's a veteran.
Oh, I will add something. Susan actually wrote a book, The Pancakes for Roger, Slaying Your Dragons. Phenomenal book. It's actually on Audible. Susan actually reads it on Audible, so it is a phenomenal listen because you get to hear her tell the story about her dad and her telling it. So it's really cool. But she's actually writing her second book that is, I think, coming out this summer. And she's kind of given a little sneak peek that it is going to be stories from female veterans and their stories.
Oh,
So I'm super excited about that book coming out this summer.
awesome, awesome. And tell them, what type of, outside of all the phenomenal things that you're doing, who they may know somebody who could benefit from the services you offer.
Yeah, so who I am, what I am. Angel Kid Insurance. We make sense out of the nonsense with your health insurance. So we specialize in Medicare, help navigate the maze that is all of that craziness and make sure that people are completely covered in their health insurance, whether that is their Medicare, it's under 65, trying to navigate the craziness that the healthcare.gov plans are trying to find an alternative to those plans because as we know, those plans are not great right now. But we just make sure people don't have to go through some of the things that I went through of climbing out of medical debt for 5 years from a spouse that had cancer. We want to make sure that people are protected in that. So that is what we do. It's me. I have Kelly there in the office with me. So she's actually a licensed agent as well. And we just try to serve our community and make sure, one, that we can help people avoid all of the scaminess that is out there, that especially with our elderly, that they are so targeted. Those that are especially 75 years and older, they are so targeted. But you hit that 65-year mark, like it's like your phone number is out there in the world and 90 million people are calling you, and it's actually illegal for people to do that. So we try to educate and help people be protected against some of that stuff and have somebody that they can actually trust.
So are you still looking for groups of seniors to be able to, do you still do that, have conversations with, or
Yeah,
so?
yeah, absolutely. We do whether that is in person, even do Zooms. We are doing educational events. We work with the YMCA, some churches to go around to some, even some of the senior facilities that just do educational events. And sometimes it's just going and having fun to show, hey, we're actually going to keep showing up. We're going to be here. We're not going to just be somebody that's one of those fly by the night people that's just here to take advantage of you. So we want people to know that we're not just somebody that's out there just to take advantage, that we are actually a staple in the community.
And so if you know of any small groups of seniors and any senior living facilities, like she said, senior ministries at church, reach out to her so that she can provide. They do senior bingo. They do all kinds of different things so that we can inform our seniors so they won't get caught off guard or be abused through that method as well. So did you have anything else you want to share before I close us out, Miss Angela? And I can't
Nope.
see the
If you're
chat.
not plugged, well, all of y'all are plugged in with Denise if you're on this call, but if you're not, you should be.
So let's get to the end. Definitely, we would love for you to become a part of our membership base, Decide Tribe. If you want more information, just reach out to me. I'll get it to you. If you join our first level starts, our collective starts at 27 and it goes all the way up to 127 a month. And if you join by Friday, regardless of what level, you become one of our charter member of our community. And that's going to be it's always fun to be a charter member of anything because you're the part of the beginning, but we really appreciate, and I promise you what we're focusing on is just building deeper connections, which I know is going to build a deeper community and more confidence in women so that we can show up as God has called us to be. So check that out, or just reach out. And I believe all the information, if you text tribe to that number, you'll be able to get more info. If you need clarity, please let me know. Also, I think I did say about April 25th, save the date for April 25th for our Birmingham trip. Save the date. But always remember, you guys, we are empowered women, so we can empower. It is our goal to be able to be our sister's keeper. It is our goal to be able to share because we care. And one of the things that we just continue to focus on here is just how can we be better versions. So a couple things I'm looking for. If you know, you can send me information. I'm looking for, because a couple of our upcoming Let's Talk About It Tuesdays, I'm looking at building panels for the month of March. So we have our whole February, have some good stuff for February. Y'all make sure y'all come, some good stuff. But in March, the goal, because that's Women's Month, so the goal is to have a panel each week. And so the panels for the first week is ladies in their 30s and 40s. Ladies in so the second week is the 40s. The third week is the 50s, and the 60 and above. So we want to have conversation at all those different levels. So if you know of anybody or are interested, let me know, and we can talk about that as well. The other area, I'm looking for any ladies who were teen moms and now adults, and just kind of how they navigated that life. I have that as a topic that I'm going to do. It was one other. So, and if there's any other topic specifically that you want to hear more about, okay, Duolingo. Let me see. I thought I had another topic that I wanted to. Where's my notes? Let's see. Oh, I want to have a panel also of women who have retired so that we can get people in position to retire and not have to still go work. Like, what are the things that we can be able to share? So that was the other topic that I definitely looking for offhand. So if you know anybody, please refer. Also, if you know of anybody, any other topics that you want to make sure that we cover, I would love to do that as well. So I don't know, it's 9:22. Okay, so so thank y'all for staying on. Thank you very much for Miss Angela for sharing tonight. Really appreciate you guys. And I hope that there was something that was shared to just motivate you. If you are in a season where you have been shifted, but didn't intend it to shift, where God has, well, I'm not going to say God has led it, but it could be where God has moves you, but it also can be that things just happen that you did not expect. So I pray that there was something said today that just kind of give you a little bit of motivation and a little bit of courage to get up and fight and not flee. So, and not freeze that as well. So you guys have a great rest of the night, and I look forward to you guys joining the tribe. Have a great night. Good night. Good night.